Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mashhuda Nursal Sabila binti Abdul Aziz. We are from group number 4, which is our topic is trait-oriented theory. Okay, the introduction from this topic, which is trait-oriented theory, is trait-oriented theory being the first career counseling that introduced by Frank Parsons from his book Choosing a Vacation. Okay, Frank Parsons is often credited as the father of modern career and vocational psychology. Trait and factor theory is measure and their objective of the data that is interpret and makes predictions about an individual's suitability or their interest for their future jobs. Okay, next, the concept of trait can be measured by qualities of an individual such as intelligence, attention, and ability. Okay, the concept of factor defines the effectiveness that is required to have or gain a successful career or job. The next slide is Parsons argued that an individual should clarify 3-phase process in career choice, which are: first, a clear understanding of yourself. You should clear about yourself. You should clear what you want to be, what your interest, and what your personality that suit with your job. You should clear your understanding about yourself first, your aptitudes, your abilities, and others. Okay, second, a knowledge of the requirements and condition of success, advantages and disadvantages, compensation, opportunities, and prospect in different lines of work. And lastly, through reasoning on the relation of these two groups of facts. Okay, this theory, which is trait-oriented theory, that is from Frank Parsons, they want to measure the ability or the personality of someone about their career job, about their career future work that is suit for them.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you to Mashhuda for her presentation. So let me introduce myself. I am Farah Nazwa binti Madam. So now I am going to talk about self-awareness related to trait and factor theory to help you in career planning to find a career job. So basically this is what everyone needs to do before trying to make a decision to find a career choice. Why we need to do a career planning? It's because do not waste your time, do not spend your life in a job that you don't love, and to find a job that makes your skills, your values, your interests, and your passion. So what is self-awareness? A clear understanding of who you are that includes your strengths, your weaknesses, your values, your skills, your benefits, and so on. Self-awareness is an important skill that can help you progress on your professional development. It means that you can use self-awareness in any professional development. How can self-awareness benefit your career? Self-awareness makes people realize their own capabilities, which prevents them from career that is not suitable for them. How do we develop self-awareness? First, question yourself. What are your interests? What are your hobbies or activities that you already enjoy? For example, you like to help people, you like to listen others' problems. So, a counselor career might be suitable for you. So you will be able to find a job based on this. Second, ask yourself what your personality. When making a career planning, it is important to recognize a few characteristics about your personality so you can make choices that fit for you. For example, are you introvert or extrovert? What's your confidence level? Are you sensitive person? And so on. These factors provide a good indication of career choice. Third, ask yourself what are your skills. A skill is a talent you have acquired from your educational, work, and life experience. The more you know about what you can do, the better you will be able to decide a career choice. You need to evaluate the skills you had before or want to develop. This information can be used to guide you in career exploration. 5. 4. What your values. Identify and understand what is important to you in a career will increase your chance of a satisfied career. For example, your values is being able to create balance between your life and work. A second example that can be very helpful to becoming more self-aware is the Johari Windu model, a technique that was created by psychologist Joseph Luo. This method was used to help people understanding their relationship with themselves and others. It can help you to get a feedback about yourself from them. The Johari Windu includes 4 main ideas. The first one is your open areas. This represents that you already know about yourself and others know about you, such as your behaviors, your knowledge, your skill, and so on. The second is your blind area. This represents that the things that you are not aware of, but others know about you. The third one is your hidden areas. This represents that the things only you know about yourself, but others don't know about you. The lastly is your unknown areas. This represents the things that you are unknown and others do. So it is particularly helpful when you need help to decide on a career choice and you ask your career professional for guidance. Other career decision-making components such as Honan theory or taking any personality test can be used to develop a self-awareness and career choice. We don't want to explain again about job psychology, Honan theory, or other assessment tools because we are sure you already understand about how important this tool in a career planning. So I will pass to Asma to explain more in a career planning after we develop a self-awareness.
Thank you to Fawa Najwa. For the next slide, I will explain step 2 in trait-oriented theory, that is, obtain knowledge about the work. Occupational information is the second ingredient of trait and factor theory. Occupational information refers to the collections of details about occupational and educational opportunity. And the role of counselor is to help the client gather occupational information. And also the counselor does not necessarily have to rely solely on his or her knowledge of occupations, but can also use many supplementary sources. There are many types of occupational information sources, include books, pamphlets, also available through computer-based information system and many websites. When qualifications and educational requirements of an occupation are being explained, clients can determine whether they have
the necessary ability to proceed into the occupation that he or she implemented. Next, tuition first type of informations, such as descriptions of occupations, working conditions, salary informations, the necessary education, and also the employment outlook. Second, classification system using Dictionary of Occupational Information title DOT 1991 and being replacement by Occupational Information Network Online or NET 1998. Third, trait and factor requirements such as aptitude achievement intervals and career value. Assessment and evaluate tool that the counselor assess. First, aptitude. Aptitude refers to a natural ability and skill that people have to excel in a certain way. There are many types of aptitude, such as linguistic aptitude. For example, a client who have many foreign language skill. STEM aptitude stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematical skill. And last, logical aptitude. Example, a client who have creative thinking skill. Second, achievement. A counselor assess their client academic performance, work performance, and certifications to enter the job. Third, client intervals by using 10 interval scale of KCS. For example, after a client finish answer the 10 interval scale of KCS, a counselor may ask by saying, "Are you intervals for joining office job? Because your height, your score is 10 to office job." Fourth, client values. Client values. Values means the principle that help you to decide what is right and wrong and how to act in different or various situations. There are two types of values, which is general values and work-related values. For example, a counselor asks their client to talk about aspects in their life that were important to them, and the counselor may help the client find an interesting way to satisfy his value wishes, such as the client help the client who want to help the homeless may join social worker as their job. And the last, personality inventory. There are many personality inventory, such as Minnesota Multifaceted Personality Inventory, which is the most widely visited and clinically used of all personality tests. For the next slide, I will give to.
Okay, next is integrating information about oneself and the worlds of work. This step is the major goals of career counseling. You will understanding what you know about yourself and apply it to the workplace. These sections provide application of the third step of trait and factors theory through the use of the resume, followed by a suggestion for ways counselor to help the client. Okay, how the counselor can help? First, counselor has access overall job certification. Then, the counselor can assess the client's ability from tests and inventories. But tests and inventories are not the only method for measuring and assessing strength. The computer gradient system tend to fit neatly into trait and factor theory.
They often combine test and occupational information such a way that client can meet their own individual need to self-assessment and occupational information. Therefore, the counselor is able to learn a client need and factor that into how they will adjust to work. And lastly is the counselor has to be aware of how stable or permanent job will be to guide the clients making decision in the job. Okay, 7-step career counseling by person. First, personal data creates a statement of key facts about the person, remembering to include every fact that has bearing on the vocational problem. After that, self-analysis. A self-examination is done in private and under the instruction of the counselor. Third is the client's and choice and decision. The counselor must bear in mind that the choice of vocation should be made by the client. Next is analysis. The counselor tests the client's decision to see if it is in line with the main quest. Stage 5 is outlook on the vocational field. The counselor should be familiar with industrial knowledge such as lists and classifications of industries. Stage 7 is induction and advice broad-minded attitude coupled with logical and clear reasoning are critical at this stage. And last stage is general helpfulness. The counselor helps the client to fit into the chosen work and to reflect on the decision.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Insyaallah fi hadzal yaum I would like to present my presentation, which is advantage and limitation of trade-oriented theory. Firstly, I would like to say thank you to Dr. Rashid because give me opportunity to present my presentation. Inshallah, I will present the advantage and limitation of trade-oriented theory. For advantage, firstly is the trade approach takes cross-situational consistency to be relative high and thus infers that traits are the best way to understand personality. Second, can be organized into a hierarchical structure with the 5 traits of extraversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, emotional stability, and intellect at a middle hierarchical level. Third, the trait approach emphasize stability, and fourth, and lastly, trait theory does not invent a new explanation for traits. It imports an existing one, namely the social cognitive one. For limitation, is difference in traits are manifest in behaviors, and second, they have not yet explicitly identified the individual difference the theories should be used to explain, and third, there is bound to be some subjective judgment in determining who is regarded as a good or successful leader, and fourth, the list of possible traits tend to be very long and there is not always agreement one the most important. 5. He depicted the counseling process as characterized by a reliance on testing individual traits and work factor, followed by comparisons of the resulting profile. And lastly, he and others have characterized that trait and factor counselor as overly directive and authoritarian. هذا فقط مني. السلام عليكم. I will continue to conclusion. The first one is describe about attitude, and the second one is help to know about yourself, and the third one is theory this theory can be used in counseling session. And the fourth is, this theory helps us to know about ourselves more better. And the last one is, help us to get a better job and comfortable with us. Itu sahaja. Assalamualaikum.